guys, I wanted to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. I'm very tired. I just got home from work. So give me a second. Forgot to put on a little bit more liner. So today is Christmas Eve, so Merry Christmas Eve to everyone. I'm just very tired. My computer's driving me nuts right now because it keeps on popping up this stupid reminder. So anyway, I wore my corduroy red plaid like I always do every year for Christmas to work. And now I'm home and I get to be home all day tomorrow too. So that'll be nice. So I prime my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I use the Kaja lip oil. And then I set my eyes with the Urban Decay pressed powder. And then for my eyeshadow, I use the Glam Light Pie palette today because I usually use this on Christmas Eve, or I use it when I wear this shirt. And I went in with Pumpkin in the crease. And I darkened up the crease more with Sweet Potato. And then I used Mud Pie on the outer corners. And then for the lid, I went in with Peach. And then for the inner corners, I used Apple Pie. And that's all I used from the palette today. I really just whip out Glam Light during Christmas. I don't really use them at any other time, but they still have a really good formula. It's just very easy to use, and I know I say that every single time, but I'm going to say it again because it's true. And I'm sorry if my eyeshadow is a bit smeared here, but I don't care because I'm taking it off. And then for my liner, I just used the ColourPop gel liner in the shade Joyride. And then for my, I just prime with my Essence Lash Primer, and then I use the Lancome Idol Lash Mascara, and then I use the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes as always. And then I prime my face with the Do It Spray and the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. And then for my foundation, I went in again with the Tom Ford Traceless Foundation Stick because I'm going to use this as much as I possibly can in the shade 0.0 Pearl, and I love it. It's just such a beautiful foundation. It still wore off a little bit on the nose again. I don't know why it does that, but I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. And then for my concealer, I use the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. I haven't used this one in a hot second in the shade Porcelain 320. I'm probably going to declutter this, though, because I feel like this is kind of old at this point. And then I set my face with the... Set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath Labs powder, and then I set my face with the Urban Decay Pressed Powder. Sorry. I'm just a mess right now. Jesus. Okay, that's a little better. Let's connect what's missing. And then for my bronzer, I use the Gucci bronzer in the shade 01. And then for my blush, I went into the Glam Light palette again, and I used the center shade, which is the blush in the palette. And this one is called Cherry Pie. So that's the blush that I used today. Super pretty. And then for my highlight, I used the Glam Light Sugar High Highlighter, which is like a really pretty gold. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray. And then I set my brows with the e.l.f. Wow Brow. And then for my lips, I used the ColourPop lip liner again in the shade... what is it called? I have no idea what this says. Little Prince, I believe. I don't know. It's the red Rudolph one. I really can't read it. And then for my lips, I used the brand new sample of a Tom Ford lipstick that I got from getting the foundation. They gave me this little lip color. So this is the Tom Ford lip color in the shade Scarlet Rouge, and I really wanted to use it today. It has a beautiful formula, really beautiful lipstick, and it's just super comfortable on the lips. So yeah, that's it. Merry Christmas Eve, and then tomorrow's Christmas, so I hope you guys have a great one. Bye! Okay, so hey there guys, I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today, and if you guys didn't know, today's Christmas, so Merry Christmas to everyone. My mom is currently almost done making dinner. We baked earlier. I made a gingerbread loaf. We made an amaretto cake. And then we sat down and watched a movie. We watched The Creator, and oh my god, that movie was so amazing. The most underrated movie of the whole year. Why did it fail at the box office? I don't know. but it was an incredible movie. I didn't even see it in theaters. I wanted to, but then it was free on Hulu, so we just watched it then, and it was amazing. So, and of course, I had to wear my Grinch shirt today, even though I've been wearing this like every day this month since I've gotten it. So anyway, I primed my eyes with the ColourPop Party Proof Primer, and then I used the Kajal Lip Oil, and then I set my eyes with the ColourPop Pressed Powder. And then for my eyeshadow, I went into my Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer palette from ColourPop. Of course, I always use this every single Christmas, and I just did a pretty easy neutral eye. So I just used Eat in the crease, then I darkened up the crease more with Little Buck, and then I used Ready Santa on the outer corners. And then for the lid, I wanted to go into Up, and Away. It's such a pretty, like, chocolatey, sparkly shade. It's so pretty. And then for the inner corners, I always use North Pole, which is also a beautiful shade. I cried a little bit during the movie, but I wasn't going to redo my makeup because I'm going to take it off probably at like 7 o'clock. So I can't believe it's 5:30 already. Like, it hasn't been that long of a day, honestly. So, and then I just went in with Brighter Days from Blend Bunny on the brow bone, and then I primed, and then I used the LA Girl liner in the shade brown for my liner, and then I just primed with my Essence Lash Primer, and then I used the ColourPop Lengthening Mascara in the shade brown for my top and bottom lashes, and then I primed my face with the Do It Spray and the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. And then for my tinted moisturizer, I just went in with my ColourPop Pretty Fresh one in the shade Fair 1N. I love this tinted moisturizer. It looks so good on the skin, so I just wanted to use that. And then for my concealer, I just went into the Maybelline Dark Circle Eraser in the shade 95 Ivory. And then I set my under eyes with the Becca Hydra Mist Powder, and then I set my face with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Powder. And then for my bronzer, I went into the ColourPop Matte Bronzer in the shade Alviva Beach, which is pretty much my favorite bronzer ever. I use it all the time. And then for my blush, I wanted to go into something a bit like snowy, so I went into the Hello Kitty blush from ColourPop. This was from like a couple of years ago at this point, and this one's called Bundled Up. It's just a really pretty like peachy pink color. It's kind of like wearing off, but it's not really that huge of a deal. And then for my highlighter, I went into, of course, the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer highlighter in the shade Jingle Jingle Jingle. And this was the only shade from the collection, but it's such a beautiful highlight, so that's what it looks like. It's just a really pretty, like, kind of duochrome. Again, I feel like it wore off a little bit because I was crying, but whatever. And then I set my face with the Do It Spray, and then I set my brows with the ColourPop Brow Boss Gel. And then for my lips, I just went into the Rudolph lipstick in the shade Clarice. It's just such a good nude. And I got some good gifts this year, actually. My brother always gets me a Sephora gift card, so I got that. And then from my mom, I actually got, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you guys this. I did post it on my Instagram if you follow me there. But my mom got me the entire Throne of Glass series from Sarah J. Maas in the box set. Look at this beauty. So I'm really incredibly excited to start reading this. I already took Assassin's Blade out and put it on my nightstand because this is obviously going to be my next book until after I finish Dead Romantics. I'm going to go right into this series. So I can't wait. I'm so excited. This is going to take me a long time to get through though because these books are not short. So, but I can't wait. I'm so excited. I thought she was going to get me the ACOTAR one though, but I told her to get me one or the other. And this one was a little bit more pricey. So yeah, I'm really happy. I hope you guys are having a great Christmas, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. So hey there guys, I wanted to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. I'm actually filming this clip pretty late in the week. Actually, I'm filming it a couple days after I wore this makeup look, but I just forgot about filming it, and also like I've been busy the past couple of days. Like that night I got home really late. I mean the night that I'm showing you guys this look, and then the next day was Christmas Eve, and today's Christmas actually, but I just want to tell you guys what I was wearing. So I primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I used the Kajal lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Urban Decay pressed powder. So I went out, like I said, for my friend's birthday with our 2 other friends, and we went and saw Wonka first, just me and him, so we could have like, because I wanted to take him to the movies for his birthday, so that was my birthday present. And then we met our 2 other friends back at his place so we could show him his new place, because they haven't seen it yet, and they haven't been over yet. And then we went to our favorite restaurant, Nosh, for his birthday dinner, and it was so good, so good, oh my god. And saw our 2 favorite bartenders and wished them Merry Christmas. It was so much fun. And then we went back to his place and played games and drank more, so it was a really fun night. So yeah, and then for my eyeshadow, I used the Merry Christmas palette from Odin's Eye. I know I said I was gonna use the Christmas Eve palette, but I kind of wanted to do like one more red look with this palette before Christmas was over. And also I wanted to wear that red plaid sweater that I was wearing in that clip, so I just did the 2 red shades in the crease because I really wanted the red shades. And oh my god, the mattes in this palette are so amazing. So I used the shade Poinsettia in the crease. Then I darkened up the crease more with Hot Cocoa. And then I used Happy Ending on the outer corners. And then I put Snowman all over the lid because I had already used, like, I think these 4 shades and this shade as well. So I think I went into like 6 of these shades this Christmas season. So I still got quite a lot of use out of this palette this Christmas season, so I think it was still my most used Christmas palette. I mean, I've been using the Christmas Eve palette quite a lot, but that's just because it's my newest palette, but it is a really good one, but this one is still my favorite. So yeah, this shade Snowman is so stunning all over the lid. And then for the inner corners, I went in with Little Star, and that's everything that I used from this palette. Jesus. It fell on its side, so that wasn't really that bad, actually. I don't know, it just, like, fell out of my hand completely, though. Good job, Caitlin. But I thought it was going to fall on the other side, but at least I have carpet, so I don't really have to worry about things breaking. And then I just used Brighter Days from Blend Bunny on the brow bone. Always a mouthful. And then for my liner, I just used the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Whatever Black. And then for the mascara, I just used my Tartelette one. I don't know where it is right now. I just used the Tartelette Tubing Mascara and primed with the Essence Lash Primer. And then I used the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. And then I primed my face with the Do It Spray and the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. And then for my face, I used the Lancome Teint Idol Ultra Wear Foundation. This is always my favorite to wear for all day in the shade 120N. Love this one. And then for the concealer, I used my Tarte Hydro Flax. This is like my tried and true favorite combination. This one's in the shade Porcelain 8S. I still love this concealer. And then I just set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath Labs powder. And then I set my face with the Urban Decay powder again. And then for my bronzer, I believe I went into the House Labs one. I'm pretty sure it was this one. So I just went into the shade Light Level 1. That might be the only thing I kind of forgot. And then for my blush, I went into the Jaclyn Hill Rouge Romance palette. I don't support her anymore, but I still use this palette when I can. And this palette is still phenomenal. She made some really amazing products, but this blush palette's one of my all-time favorites, and I used this shade Ever After because this is a really beautiful, like, red, and it looks so good on, and I just obviously wanted to use a red to be more, like, Christmassy, and I love this palette. So I really want to whip this out and use it again at some point, but I'm so glad that I used that shade. I forgot about that shade for a little while. I was like, I know I own another red shade, but for some reason I couldn't remember what it was. And then for the highlight, I used the Be Perfect Cosmetics highlighter in the shade 32 degrees Fahrenheit. And this is what it looks like. This is such a pretty gold highlighter, and it's one of my favorites, so I just wanted to use that one. And then I set my face with my Milk Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with my e.l.f. Wow Brow. And then for my lips, I went into my other Rudolph lip duo. This is the There's Always Tomorrow lip duo, and I went in with the red lip liner with the coinciding lipstick. So this one is, I can never read this lip liner. It's called they're both called Rudolph. Oh my god. And obviously the shade names are on here, but it's like microscopic on this thing, I swear to God. So I just used that, and then I used the red lippy, and I'm so glad that I got at least one use out of this. I actually wore a couple of red lippies the past couple of days. I'm so happy I was able to pull out some red lipsticks, but that's really the only time I do now is during the Christmas season. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey there guys. I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. I'm pretty tired. I just got home from work. I didn't really get to relax before work today because I had to wash my hair, but at least my hair is clean now and looks pretty good. So I primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I used the Kaja lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Urban Decay pressed powder. And then for my eyeshadow, I went into the Christmas Eve palette. Just because Christmas is over doesn't mean I'm going to stop using this palette, because I wanted to use the final shade that I still haven't used on my lid yet, which is this lilac shade, like this lilac shimmer. So I used the gray in the crease, which is Ice Crystal, and then I darkened it up with Nowhere right in this part, and then for the outer corners I used the shade Christmas Eve, and then for the lid I used the shade Wonderful, like I said, and it's a really pretty lavender sparkly shade. And then for the inner corners I went in with Snowflake, which is this really pretty silver shade, and then I used a little bit of Silvery Dream just on the lower lash line. And I think it turned out really pretty. I mean, I really like this palette. So now I've used all of the shades in here finally, but yeah, so now I don't have to use it for a little while. I might make this my New Year's Eve palette though. Not quite sure yet. And then for my waterline, I literally just used it. I thought I didn't put it back, so I could literally show you guys what I used. Oh, it's right here. I used the Galactic liner in the shade Eyeliner Gray because I wanted that gray liner on the waterline. And then I used the Essence Lash Primer. And then for the mascara, I used the Lancome Hypnose mascara on the top lashes, and then I used the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes, and then I primed my face with the Do It spray and the e.l.f. Power Grip primer. And then for my face I used the Tom Ford Traceless foundation stick again in the shade 0.0 Pearl. It's such a pretty foundation, so I wanted to use it again. And then for my concealer, I went in with the Makeup by Mario concealer in the shade 120. And then for my powder, I just used the Pat McGrath Labs powder. God, can I speak? And then to set my under eyes, and then I set my face with the Urban Decay powder again. And then for my bronzer, I just went into the Makeup by Mario bronzer in the shade Light. This is the Soft Sculpt bronzer. Most of these shades are sold out. It's pretty popular bronzer, and I love it. For good reason, because it's a great bronzer. And then for my blush, I just went into the M Cosmetics blush again in the shade Magic Hour. I really, really love these blushes. This is the Heaven's Glow Magic Hour blush. It's just such a pretty one. And then for my highlight, I used the Harry Potter ColourPop highlighter in the shade Buckbeak. I just thought it'd be a really pretty shade for this look, and I really, really like how it looked. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with the e.l.f. Wow Brow. And then for my lips, I used the Makeup Forever Artist Lip Color Pencil in the shade Anywhere Caffeine. I just wanted to use that one again. And then for my lips, I used the ColourPop Fresh Kiss Lip Cream in the shade Smoochin'. This is a really nice nude shade, so I just wanted to use that. And yeah, that's it. I haven't used it in quite a while, so I thought that was a good shade to use. So yeah, bye. So hey there guys, I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. I actually went out with my boyfriend today for our anniversary. We've been dating a long time, so we usually go out to dinner. We went to this kosher deli that we really love out east. on the island, and it was so good. So we just went there, and then we went back to his house, and then I went to go pick up Bud at the dispensary near him. So it was really fun. So anyway, I just didn't do anything too fancy because we were just going to a deli. It's not like we were going anywhere like too fancy. So I primed my eyes with but it was so good. The sandwiches were so good. And the fries and the coleslaw and the pickles. I love that kind of food. Oh, it's so good. So I primed my eyes with the ColourPop Party Proof Primer, and then I used the Kajal lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Dior powder, actually, because even though we weren't going somewhere super fancy, I still wanted to use some nice products. So for my eyeshadow palette, I went into the Natasha Denona My Dream palette because I kind of wanted to get one more use out of this before the year is over. So I used the shade Nurture in the crease. Then I darkened up the crease more with Familia, and then I used Aspiration on the outer corners. And then for the lid, I went into the shade Babies. I don't know why I'm doing that when I'm not even wearing it. And then for the inner corners, I just used Spontaneous, and that's everything I used from the palette. Works really well. I actually wore this on our anniversary last year because that's when I actually got the palette, was last December. And I wore this shade, and I wore like the purple, so I actually remember what I wore that time too. But I decided to wear the same palette because this is my least used Natasha Denona. Well, I've used it more than the Yucca palette actually, so which I do want to use a bit more as well. But you know, I'm just trying to get as much use out of my palettes as possible. So yeah. And also I just wanted to use Natasha Denona today. I'm going to use ColourPop tomorrow. And then for my waterline, I went into the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Limitless Brown. And I use the same brow bone highlight every single day. The Blend Bunny Brighter Days from the Forget Me Not palette. And then for the... and then I use the Essence Lash Primer, of course, to prime my lashes. And then for my mascara, if I could fucking grab it, I used the Ami Colé mascara. I just used that on my top lashes. And I used the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. I am pretty tired, though, because I spent most of the day with him. I left at like 1:45, and I didn't get home until like 9, so I'm pretty tired. And then for my face, I primed my face with the Do It Spray and the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. And then for my foundation, I wanted to go into the House Labs foundation today, so I used the Triclone Skin Tech foundation in the shade 050 Fair Cool. I love this foundation. And then for the concealer, I just used the coinciding concealer in the shade 01 Fair Neutral. And then I set my face with the Dior powder, and then I set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath Labs powder. And then for my bronzer, I wanted to go into the Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer in the shade Tantric, so I used that today. And then for my blush, I went into my Gucci blush because he actually got me this for Christmas last year, so I just really wanted to use it again. I love this blush. And this is the Cheeks and Eye Powder Luminous Matte Blush in the shade Tender Apricot. And then for my highlight, I wanted to use my favorite highlighters of the year, which was the Rare Beauty highlighter. I've used these highlighters so much at this point. Besides the Blend Bunny highlighters, these are like my most used highlighters this year. And this is the shade Exhilarate. So I just wanted that gold highlight. And this is probably my most used shade out of the 3 that I have. And then I set my face with the Do It spray. And then I set my brows with my e.l.f. Wow Brow. And then for my lips, I just went into one of my all-time favorite lipsticks, and this is the Dose of Colors Desi and Katie lipstick in the shade Hey Girl. This is a pretty old one, but still smells just fine, and this is like such a beautiful warm tone nude. It's one of my all-time favorites. So yeah, that was it, and it was a really good day. And I also, did I say this yesterday? I started Assassin's Blade last night. So I now have started the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I'm on page 60. It's going to take me a long time to get through these, though. I'm hoping to get to page 100 within the next hour, so hopefully I'll have 100 pages read. But I'm really liking it so far. I'm already trying to race through it, but I know it's going to be an experience finishing these books, so it's going to take me quite a while, but I am so excited and looking forward to reading the rest of them. So, yeah, I decided to decide, but I did decide to decide. I decided to start with the prequel because that's how it comes. That's how the series is sold. So I'm like, you know what? I think I am going to start just the way that they boxed it in the set. I'm like, I'm just going to go in that order. It's like, I kind of want to know what happens with the characters a little bit because I'm like so impatient coming to like what's going to happen. And I actually read one comment saying that it actually makes more sense starting with the prequel because you get a lot of background on the characters of the like main protagonists in the stories. And they also say that you can actually skip one of the books. I think it's Heir of Fire or Tower of Dawn, but I'm not skipping anything. And they also said you're supposed to read Heir of Fire and Tower of Dawn at the same time. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but it's called in tandem, so we'll see. I'm already jumping ahead when I just started it last night, so. But I didn't really read much of it because I finished The Dead Romantics last night. So I read like 5 pages and I was already falling asleep, so I read 60 pages today. But yeah, I finished The Dead Romantics last night. I forgot to say that, and it was amazing. I loved that book so much. I cannot wait to talk about all the books I read in 2023. I'm hoping to finish that by January 1st. So that will count for this year as well. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey there guys. So I wanted to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. I'm just going to see my boyfriend again, and then tomorrow I'm working. So I prime my eyes with the ColourPop Party Proof Primer. Sorry, I'm just tired. And then I use the Kajal Lip Oil, of course, and then I set my eyes with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Powder. And then for my eyeshadow today, I decided to go into the ColourPop Not a Box of Chocolates palette. I wanted to use at least one ColourPop palette before the year is over, and this is one of my all-time favorite palettes from ColourPop. So I just wanted to go into this today. So I went into O Chip in the crease. Then I darkened up the crease more with Tiramisu, and then I used in Truffle on the outer corners, and then for the lid I used my favorite shade in the palette, which is Honeycomb Crunch. It's just such a beautiful palette. I mean, such a beautiful color. I think I've used all these shimmers at least 3 times at this point. I love this palette so much. It's just one of their best. And then for the inner corners, I used Champagne Truffle. So that's everything I used from the palette. Just super easy, neutral look. And then I just used Brighter Days from Blend Bunny on the brow bone, as always. And then for my waterline, I used the Makeup Forever Artist Couture Artist Color Pencil in the shade Limitless Brown. I don't know why I say Artist Couture. I don't think it's called that. And then I just used my Essence Lash Primer on the top lashes. And then I used my Tower 28 Mascara on the top lashes as well. And then I used the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. And then I primed my face with the Do It Spray and the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer again. And then for my tinted moisturizer, did I put it back already? I just used my Rare Beauty one, but I think I put it back already. So I just used the Rare Beauty Tinted Moisturizer in the lightest shade possible. And then for the concealer, I just went into my Tower 28 concealer in the shade BH. And then I set my, yeah, I definitely put it back. I set my under eyes with the Becca powder, and then I set my face with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. And then for my bronzer, I went into the ColourPop Matte Bronzer, of course, again in the shade Alviva Beach, because this is my favorite and I love using it. So I just used that guy. I don't know where the plastic went, though. Whatever. And then for my blush, I just went into my Blend Bunny Bare Cheeks palette. And I just used the nude shade right here called Just a Touch. I just wanted to use this palette because I love it and just such a beautiful blush. So I just used that. And then for my highlighter, oh, the plastic is right next to it. I used the MAC Soft and Gentle highlight. Just felt like going into this today. Just wanted to use an older highlighter, and this is such a beautiful highlight. It's just so pretty. I love the MAC highlighters. And then I set my face with the Do It spray, and then I set my brows with the ColourPop Brow Gloss Gel. And then for my lips, I went into an oldie but a goodie. This is like my all-time favorite nude shade from MAC. So this is the matte MAC lipstick in the shade Honey Love, and it's just such a beautiful warm tone nude. I don't know why that's doing that. And then reading update, I didn't just get up to page 100. I'm on page 180 now. So I'm making some good headway. I should be halfway through by tonight. So read 183 pages in 1.5 days. So I think that's pretty good. So yeah, I just want to get to Throne of Glass already. I'm so excited. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey there guys. Just trying to adjust this light because I just got home from work. I'm really tired. Today was a really annoying exchange day, and for some reason people thought we closed at 9, so I had like 3 last minute customers. Like one of the guys came in at like 8:40, which is fine. Like basically anybody that comes in before 8:50, it's not that big of a deal because usually they're like pretty quick. But then there's like the occasional looker that like comes in 5 minutes before. And this lady was trying to get jeans at like 8:05, and I'm like, we're closed. Like, bye. Bye. Like, you could come back tomorrow if you really need jeans. I really don't care. Like, I just don't know how people are like that. Like, if you're just looking at them and you'll be like, oh, what time do you guys close? I'm so sorry. I just wanted to know if you have shorter jeans. I'll probably come back another day. But whatever. So I primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I used the Kajal lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Dior powder. And then for my eyeshadow palette today, I wanted to go into the Nomad Royal Europe palette because I was wearing like these burgundy jeans, so I kind of wanted to match my jeans rather than like my shirt because my shirt's white and I like wearing it with this cardigan. So I used the red, I did the red look today because that multi-chrome is like my favorite one. I'm sorry. And I kind of wanted to go like into at least a couple of my favorite palettes of the year before I do my top 10. So I wanted to use them again. So hint, hint. But you don't know where they are falling. They're just like, you know, in my top 10. So I loved this palette this year. So I really wanted to use it today. So, and I just wanted to use Nomad at least one more time before the year is over. So I went in with Penna Palace in the crease. Then I darkened up the crease more with Great Hall. And then I used Neptune Fountain on the outer corners. And then I used Royal Treasure all over the lid. And this pigmentation, you guys, it lasts all day. Like, this is how intense it was when I first put it on. That's why I freaking love this palette. This is the best quality Nomad has ever done. This quality is insane how good these are. And then for the inner corners, I went in with Imperial Crown, which I usually always use as an inner corner highlight in this palette. Since it's a multi-chrome, it's light enough for me. But after trying this palette and then trying the Akavango Safari palette, the quality doesn't even compare to how amazing this one is. I said compare. So you know it's been a long day. And then I used Brighter Days from Blend Bunny on the brow bone. And then for my face, I primed with my e.l.f. with the Do It spray and the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. And then for my foundation, I used the Tom Ford Traceless Foundation Stick again. It actually didn't wear off on my nose today, which I was actually very happy about. In these shades 0.0 Pearl, because I wanted to use it at least one more time before I don't work again until like Wednesday. Hopefully I'll get more hours at some point, but I just need to get a new job is what it comes down to. And then for the concealer, I used the LYS Triple Fix Full Coverage Brightening Concealer in the shade LG3. And then I set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath Labs powder. And then I set my face with the Dior powder again. And then for my bronzer, I went into the Pat McGrath Labs bronzer in the shade Naked Desire. I love this color and I just wanted to use that today. And then for my blush, my face is feeling a little dry though, but I'm about to take my makeup off, obviously. And then for my blush, I went into the House Labs blush in the shade Pomelo Peach. I just felt like using it today, and this is one of my favorite blushes of the year, so I just really wanted to use it today. And then for my highlight, I went into the Give Me Glow highlighter in the shade White Noise. I swear there's nothing like a Gimme Glow highlighter. They're just so intense and beautiful, and it's just one of my old reliable formulas. I know I can rely on the intensity like for all day. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with the e.l.f. Wow Brow. And then for my lips, I went into the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade BFF3. And then for my lipstick, I went into an oldie but a goodie. I went into the Frozen 2 Luxe lipstick from ColourPop in the shade Anna. This is the it's called Going North. It's Anna's shade from the Frozen collection, and it's such a beautiful, like, kind of warmer tone brown. Sorry, it's like, I don't know why it's so annoying to get rid of this freaking stain, but it's driving me nuts. But whatever, I'm just gonna take it off. So yeah, that's it. I also got up to page 322 in the Assassin's Blade. So I only have just, I think, like 115 pages left. So I might possibly try and finish it tonight, or possibly just tomorrow morning. But by the latest tomorrow night, I think I'm going to be finished with it. So I'm really happy. I got really far in this book in less than 3 days. I was hoping to read a little bit more at work, but I only got to read like for 10 minutes on my break, and I only got through like a few pages because like people were leaving and talking to me. I was like, can you just leave me alone so I can read? And then, you know, since last minute customers came in, I just didn't have any time to read after like my coworker left. So yeah, that's it. Bye.